Market crash? Where is it? Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. So glad you could join me here today. Every week on Prime Properties TV, we take a closer look at the Toronto real estate topics and updates that matter the most to you. And in this episode, we got the 2020 year-end numbers from TREB. And my question is, where's this crash everyone keeps talking about? Where? I'm still waiting. Anyways, if you like content like this, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the Prime Properties channel. The button to do so is right here on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Now, fasten your seatbelts because this one is gonna get a little bit crazy. So let's get the numbers out of the way right now. Sales are up 52.4% to almost 7,000 sales in January. Prices are up 15% to a second record high of about 968,000. That's only 1,000 shy of the record high, and this is for a month of January. Yeah, January. Then you have my favorite stat, which is the months of inventory, which is at a silly low like 1. For a number like this to be seen in January, that really should tell you how hot the market is right now. Now, I'm gonna make one point right now that I know people are gonna give me flack for, but it's something that's important. If you listened to my last video about how CMHC's prediction of the 50% drop or even the 18% drop in 2020, and you now see that prices are up almost 16%, where is the crash coming from? Where? It's just crash. So let's just say hypothetically, we did see the 18% drop this year, and spoiler alert, it doesn't look like it's happening based on the numbers from TREB. Isn't it just a wash then if you got 18 down, 16 up? Almost the same thing, right? Anyways, that's just some food for thought for you because I keep coming back to saying that predictions are absolutely worthless, including my own. And nobody has any idea what's going on. But when we look at the actual data from like stuff that has happened, we can see that CMHC was dead wrong. Now, the reason we have such an increase in activity and pricing is from a combination of, pent-up demand, I hate saying that term, plus future demand. Yeah, you heard me, future demand. So TREB surveyed all the people who bought a house and almost 2/3 of them, that means over 66%, said that they bought earlier than they expected due to the pandemic. So you can have a look at the chart here. So if you were to take the combined demand that we kind of missed out on from 2020 during the lockdown, plus whatever we normally get in 2021, plus future demand in 2022, that is effectively 3 times the demand for no supply due to the lockdown, which makes total sense. But obviously, we don't want to imply this type of conclusion with just a survey from 3,000 people TREB did, right? Not a good analysis. There were a lot of interesting survey-related questions that came from the report, and if you want the slide deck and presentation, I'll put in the link below for you. But in short, the pandemic definitely affected when people were buying, but less than 1/3 of the people who were surveyed said it didn't affect where they were buying. I found that quite interesting because when I look deeper into the numbers, I can see that the 905 detached market was on an absolute tear. It continues to be right now, which doesn't really jive with what the report's saying. So although the months of inventory in the 905 detached segment increased from 0.8 to 0.96 from last month, the price also increased from 1.175 million to 1.31 million. That's an 11.28% jump in 1 month. Yeah, the average 905 detached basically skipped to 1.2 million because it was that hot. Absolutely on a tear. So when I look closer at the asset types of 905, prices are up about 8% for semis, 7% for towns, 11% for condos. Yeah, condos. But granted, this one's kind of weird because if you average out the condos in the last 4 months, it's only up 3%. So take that with a grain of salt. Don't go buy a 905 condo because I said that, right? But all the other 905 freehold asset types are on a tear right now. On the contrary, the 416 is strong, but mainly in the detached segment where prices are up about 7% from last month to 1.58 million, which is a record high in 416. So we broke the 2017 record. So I can attest to this because every detached that came on the market was blazing hot. Some properties that we saw weren't selling last year, came on the market in January, got relisted, had multiple offers, and were sold just like that for much more than what they were looking for last year. This is the type of demand we're seeing in the 416. Now, on the condo side, the prices basically dropped 0.15%, give or take, or let's call it stayed the same. But the inventory levels dropped to 1.39 months of inventory, which is a 31% drop from last month. If you combine the 2 months before that, the inventory level has dropped to a total of 76%, where it went from 3.65 to 1.39. This is something I've been talking about, why we need to watch out for pricing, because technically we are in a red hot condo market, just prices have stayed the same. I'm seeing properties that are selling with multiple offers with much more than what they were getting a few months ago. I talked about this in the last video. It's just absolutely insane, but every seller hasn't adopted this just yet, so it's not widespread. I was able to pick up a few properties without multiple offers for clients last month, but I think this is about to change soon because more and more people are catching on, right? So once we see the inventory levels this low, prices are gonna go up. There were a few random outliers I was talking about too before, where like the exact same layout, same unit, a few floors below sold for 100,000 more than what it did like 2 months ago. So the condo market is coming back. That one may be an outlier, but it's just kind of where we're going. This probably is like the 10th, 11th week that I've been screaming out the window saying that, look, first-time home buyers, your window to buy is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And even as bullish as I was on the condo market, I think we're starting to see the activity levels increase way before what I expected then in April. And I didn't expect the market to rebound that quickly. So if you're a first-time home buyer, get ready. I think the market's gonna get very competitive very, very soon. That means prices will increase very, very soon. Remember, everyone only kind of reads the headlines about where things are. So while prices are technically down 8% in the 4 and 6 from last year, the inventory level is the same, which is kind of weird because I've always said that the leading indicator of where prices are heading is months of inventory, right? With low inventory, prices are going to go up. The only reason we're basically still seeing prices down year over year is because we're comparing a red hot like January 2020 to right now a rebounding January 2021 in the condo space. So when the numbers come out in February and March, we'll continue to look very poor because of how crazy it was last year. But once we hit April and we're comparing the numbers a year ago during the pandemic, we're going to see an increase. I've seen this play out way too many times. Here's how it's exactly how it's going to play out if we don't see a price increase in the 4 and 6 condo space. But you know, let's just say, play with me for illustrative purposes, the current prices right now are $625,000 and it doesn't move for the next month. Just play with me here, but let's say it doesn't. The next month we're gonna see a 14% price drop, and then we're gonna see a 12% price drop in March, but then come April, it's gonna go up 2%. That's how volatile the pandemic had caused the condo market to swing. So what do you think it's gonna do to the buyer psychology when they see that condo prices go up like 10% in 1 month? They're gonna have FOMO, or fear of missing out, right? They're gonna jump right back in. I see this all the time. When the market gets hot, people jump in because they have FOMO, they think they're gonna price out, and it perpetuates over and over again. More on that next week, but that's what I think is going to happen if prices are still staying. But given where they're at now, prices are going up with the inventory level going down, I think the swings could be even that much more because we're gonna be comparing year over year numbers that are that much better in 2021 than it was in 2020. So get ready, right? And just to give you an idea how prices can potentially go up, I'm gonna revert your attention back to February numbers. Again, I've been talking about this for a while, which gets released in March, so in about 21 days, give or take. And I've been telling everyone, prices always increase month over month when you go from January to February, because there's never any inventory right now. Here's a chart again for you to look. In the last 11 years, prices always go up at a minimum of 4%. And you can see that in 2017, crazy year, prices went up 14% in 1 month. You know how I was saying earlier in the video that the 905 detaches saw an 11% increase in the last month alone? We could see this be coming for the entire market as the market heats up and inventory stays low. So if we look at the January month-to-month numbers, you can see that this January we saw a 3.83% increase in the entire market, which is pretty good. It's the second highest January only after 2017, you can see here, which saw a 5.18 increase. And you know how I've been saying that, it kind of feels like 2017, but not quite there yet, but I kept giving you a percentage and kept increasing. Well, just play along with me here. So if we extrapolate the price increase as a percentage reflected on how hot 2017 is, 2021 right now is like 70% of 2017. So 70% increase in February for 2017 as a percentage in 2021, if that makes any sense to you, is a 10% increase by the end of February. Is this what we can expect? Are we gonna see numbers like this next month? Maybe. It's a possibility. There's a good chance, right? The inventory level is also eerily similar to that of 2017 right now, right? That's why I'm saying this. But take that with a grain of salt, because I'm not trying to spook you into buying something so you don't have fear of missing out to buy now. But this is just a thought process I'm having I want to share with you. I'm going to be talking more about like FOMO next week because a lot of people are having it right now. But if you're in the market right now and you have the means to be buying your home, and you should definitely buy before February ends, especially if you know you're holding the property for like 3 to 5+ years and you're going to live in it, right? But if you're buying because you have FOMO right now, make sure you tune into next week's episode of Prime Properties TV so I can talk you out of it, because you don't want to be buying in a market like this if you're not ready, right? Because these numbers basically are confirming what I've been seeing in the market last month. I've been kind of saying out there, right? If you're standing and straddling the line, whether you should buy because you think the prices will go up and you get priced out, or you think the market's going to correct itself because prices are going up so quickly, you can book a call with me using the link here. It's www.chatwithzen.com, so we can just discuss strategies, financing options, so they can make make the right move. Because it's in situations like this where you need a good solid advice, because it could go really good for you and go up, or it could go really bad for you because the market's moving so quickly, right? There's wild swings right now. So hopefully this market update gives you an idea of what's going on as I dove really deep into the numbers. I'm anticipating something similar to next month, because the inventory levels don't usually increase in February, and they sometimes increase in March on a normal year. But you know, I don't think this year's still normal, right? So we'll see. Until next time, your move, your future. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Oh, you know what? This one's good too. Ooh, this one's really good. You know what? Just watch them both.